All right, so boom. In this video, we're going to be talking about Miss Mama's right here and her little incident with her drunk driving and her constant display of just being the ultimate drunkie drunk on her Twitter. Now, this story has been out about a week now, and a lot of blogs posted about this, and a lot of you guys probably have heard about it already. So if you are a person who heard about it already and you don't wish to hear my commentary, then hey, click off of the video. Cause we be having these I heard about this already police, and it's like, girl, this is not a race. Over here, it's not a race. I get to the story when I get to the story, okay? So if you want to hear my commentary and what I think about it, or if you haven't even heard about this story, then proceed the video. But I heard about this and, didn't this happen a week ago, police? Please save it, okay? Please save it, because why do y'all be clicking videos if y'all already seen it? I just don't understand. But we're going to get into the deets of this story right after this intro. Hey, what's up? It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. If this is your first time here, over here we are the Night Owls. If you have not hit that subscribe button, I want you to go ahead and do that right now. This is a channel where I talk about celebrity news and gossip and give my opinion on trending stories. But just know, keep in mind that over here, this is an acquired taste. You know what I'm saying? This ain't for everybody, so proceed with caution. But still hit that subscribe button. Anyways, all right, and I hope you hit that button and you hit that like button like my past self just told you, okay? But anyway, so let's get into it. So this girl right here, she basically was drunk driving, and she was out drunk driving, and she was actually, in addition to drunk driving, she was bragging about the incident on her Twitter account as well. So she would frequently go on her Twitter. She would talk about how drunk she is. She would talk about how, she's drinking and she's drunk at 8 in the morning. She's drinking and she's drunk at this time and that time. And there's nothing wrong with, having you a little drinky drink if that's what you want to do. But you definitely need to be responsible while doing so. Now, she basically got pulled over because the troopers suspected her of being a drunk driver. Now, when the troopers pulled her over, they stopped her and they're like, listen, whatever the spiel was, they told her they got a call on the radio that there was an emergency on the highway. So even though they suspected this woman of drunk driving, there was a more serious emergency that they needed to tend to. So they ended up leaving her to go tend to a pedestrian that was actually on the freeway, and they were walking on the freeway, which is very, very dangerous. So this girl, gets a pass because we got to handle something serious. We don't want this other lady to get struck by a vehicle or killed. So the officers proceeded to go to the more serious, even though drunk driving, is very serious, but a lady walking in the freeway is also serious. So they give this girl a pass. They go to attend to this other civilian who was said to have been walking in the freeway. This woman goes in her car, tries to somehow bypass the stop of the freeway, and smashes into the state troopers who had basically let her off the hook and killed them and the civilian. Now, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the news report, and then I'm going to talk more about this story because, believe it or not, there was people who felt like people should feel sorry for her being arrested, and I'm just like, okay, but we're going to get into that in a sec. So this is just a little bit of the news report that's going to kind of break down what I just told y'all, but
crash that killed two Pennsylvania state troopers and another man on I-95 in South Philadelphia.
Okay, they said another man. I thought it was a woman, so I stand corrected. I thought it was a woman that ended up being passed. Yeah, but okay.
Child in the crash that killed two Pennsylvania state troopers and another man on I-95 in South Philadelphia. 21-year-old Jayana Tanae Webb is facing murder, manslaughter, DUI, and other felony charges.
Okay. So as you see, that is her right there with her head bowed down. She's, look like she's been crying. And listen, they got all kind of cameras all shoved in her face, like as she does this perp walk after she killed two of their own.
Other felony charges. Tuesday afternoon, I'm Sarah Bloomquist.
And I'm Brian Taft. The big story on Action News today is the breaking details in that crash that claimed the lives of troopers Martin Mack and Brandon Siska. Those charges were just announced within the hour.
All right. So let me try to skip through this to where they talk about the charges.
That's right, Sarah and Brian. It's still a very devastating situation all around, and we did get this information minutes ago. Now, I do want to say hours ago, the state police, they did walk the suspect out of these barracks for the first time.
Okay.
State police took 21-year-old Jayana Tanae Webb of Eagleville away in handcuffs a day after officials alleged she hit and killed state troopers Martin Mack, Brandon Siska, and the pedestrian they were assisting on I-95 Monday morning.
Ain't that tragic? Like, they literally go to try to save someone's life and assist someone who was walking on the freeway to then all get killed from the woman that they just kind of let off the hook from suspicion of drunk driving. Now, I've seen some people say, well, if they would have just gone ahead and arrested her like they should have or whatever, then, this wouldn't have happened, blah, 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 blah. But it's like there is often times where you kind of, gauge what's more pertinent at the time. And I can see how they can feel like a person who is walking on an active, busy freeway is more pertinent to like get to right away. Now, this girl on her Twitter, she was a drunk. So it's kind of, I'm going to assume that she probably was able to pass off as being okay and being, coherent enough when they were talking to her. Because if a person is drinking to the magnitude that she displayed on her Twitter, then I'm sure she's able to act cool, like play it cool or whatever. And I can see how they could feel like, girl, we feel a little iffy about you, but hey, we got to get to this person right here.
Authorities announced the pedestrian was Reyes Rivera Oliveras, 28, of Allentown. Webb is facing a laundry list of charges, including 3 counts of third-degree murder and
okay, they already said the counts, so why are they saying it again?
He specializes in DUI cases. He says the 3 counts of homicide by vehicle DUI alone carry a lot of jail time.
So you're looking at anywhere from 9 to 30 years.
9 to 30 years.
Yep. The minimum will be 9. Based on, I don't know what her prior record score is or whether she has a prior record or not.
Officials have not released many details regarding the driver, aside from the fact that she traveled at a high rate of speed leading up to the crash. Kelly says the suspect is charged with third-degree murder because authorities found malice, which could be caused by excessive speeding.
All right. So when I seen the report, it was said that she was driving at a rate of speed of 110 miles per hour. Now, at a rate of speed of 110 miles per hour, she didn't follow what my mama always told me. Now, my mama, I was always raised that warning comes before destruction. And if you get into a situation where you are stopped by the cops, you can be a driver who feels like, you know what, even though you feel like, I got it, I've been drinking or whatever, I got it. Once you get pulled over by the cops and you get let go, that should be your warning that, you know what, that was my warning before destruction. Let me calm down and play it cool. Even if you want to continue to drive, which you should not, you should be utilizing a rideshare app like Uber, Lyft, or, things of that nature if you're inebriated. But if you just so happen to, feel like you got it, which again, you should be using a rideshare app or a friend or designated driver. I feel like she did not utilize the things that my mama told me. Warning comes before destruction. She proceeded to not only get a warning sign to slow down and chill out, she proceeded at a high rate of speed of 110 miles per hour. Like, girl, you were doing way too much. Like, I understand you feeling like you had it, but you just was doing way too much. And hence why this escalated to the amount of casualties that it did.
The impact was so great that it threw the troopers over into northbound lanes of Interstate 95. The vehicle then struck the Jersey barrier, continued a short distance along Interstate 95, and ended up on the right side shoulder.
As for the victims, friends have created a GoFundMe for Trooper Martin Mack's wife and their 2 young daughters. A family friend said in a statement that Marty was a hands-on dad that loved his 2 daughters and wife unconditionally.
All right. So that's just a piece of the news article. Now I'm going to go to people who felt as though this was something that we should be excusing. Now, if you are a person who drinks and drives, I do not feel like that is something that we should be making excusable behavior. Is it something that people have, had a drink and got behind the wheel? That still shouldn't be something that we should be encouraging as if it's okay. We should be encouraging people to utilize rideshare apps, utilize designated drivers, and utilize other means of pulling over, sobering up, or other measures than just getting behind the wheel and driving off. Now, there was a girl who posted on Twitter, and she said, y'all get on TikTok and brag about driving home drunk, singing home on the way to D appointments, but y'all used her tweet against her, LOL. That could have been any other 21-year-old drunk on her way home. Now, any other 21-year-old would be in the same boat as her, and they would be arrested as well. She said, raise your hand if you never drove home drunk. Put that hand down. And then she said, nobody ever said the situation wasn't sad, but don't, get on here acting all high and mighty like that couldn't have been you. Actually, my mama, like I said, she always taught me warning come before destruction, okay? So I take heed to the warning signs, and I like to utilize rideshare apps, especially since they are available, and I like to utilize designated drivers, okay? It's one driver that this time you ain't gonna be able to turn up like everybody else, or, and back in the day before it was rideshare available like it is now, it used to always, like with me and my friends, it was always, okay, girl, you got to turn up last time and you got to drink and turn up. So this time I'm going to drink and turn up and you got to be the sober one. Like, we would alternate who was going to be the sober person and who was going to be the designated driver. And that's just how it worked back in my day before there was Uber and Lyft and that like it is now. But now that we have rideshare apps available, we have to be encouraging people to utilize those apps. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act high and mighty like I've never had a drink and got behind the wheel, but I've never been a person to go at a high rate of speed. And mind you, an accident could have happened whether I was going at a high rate of speed or not. But if I was a person who got behind the wheel of a vehicle and I caused a accident that ended in the loss of life, I would have to be accountable for that. Like, we have to stop thinking that, people are alleviated of accountability, and things like that. Like, God forbid if I was ever in that situation, I would have to be accountable for my actions. But I try to make sure that, hey, if I'm going to be drinking, I'm not going to be the one driving. Or if I am driving and I've been drinking, I like to have a buffer in between my drinks. Like if I go to a club, right, and it's 10 o'clock, because we're really not going to get there at 9, but say it's 10 and I have a drink. I'm not going to continue drinking from 10 to 2 a.m. I'll probably have a drink at 10 and then cool the rest of the night. You know what I'm saying? And drink water and sober up and things like that in between. I feel like if you are drinking, you need to have that sober up in between buffer. And if you are somewhere and you drink, but then you have to leave, or say the club ends early or something, that sober up buffer, I believe, should happen in your car while your car is parked before you start utilizing a vehicle. You know, drink some water, eat some ice, stay alert. Do those things to help yourself sober up. Eat some food. You know, if you somewhere out and you've been drinking and like the club or the function or whatever ended abruptly, if you got a DoorDash a meal to you, you know what I'm saying, to get you some food so that you have something to absorb some of that alcohol, drink some water, do that. But just to be drinking and driving and acting like this is something that we should be glamorizing, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to sit here and agree with this girl. I'm just not, because even if you have done it, this should be a wake-up call for anybody who has done it to not do it, because it is something that can result in a tragedy. You know, it's something that could result in a loss of life. Now, this girl, she was basically bragging continuously on her Twitter account. So not only was she bragging the night that she got pulled over by these cops, but she has several posts. This is the post that most people are sharing right here, where it says, if you ask me, I'm the best drunk driver ever. Okay, and this is her, you know, bragging about being the best drunk driver, but she had countless posts. You know, she got this post right here where she's talking to somebody and she's saying, to and whatever the girl she replying to, she's saying, B, I was drunk. I barely made it home. I'm about to call you. You know, so this is a repeated behavior. This is a tweet all the way back from February 6th, 2021, where she's drunk. She could barely make it home. You know, she's bragging about being the best drunk driver ever, bragging about, girl, I barely made it home. I was drunk, blah, blah. Then she had other posts where she's just drunk. And it ain't nothing wrong with having a drink here and there, but you definitely have to drink responsibly, you know? See all of these posts right here. I'm drunk as F still. I want to get drunk tonight. I'm drunk. I haven't been drunk in so long. I need a good night. Why am I so bold when I'm drunk? Like, what the F? Drunk me is so friendly. You know, and then she had other posts where she posted, I'm mad I can't get drunk, yo. Hold on, let me pull this up. I'm mad I can't get drunk, yo. I'm trying to get drunk again tonight. Drunk is me. Drunk and reminiscent be the worst. So these are recent, like December, January, February, March. Like she was just drunk. And again, if you have a drink, that's fine. But just make sure that you are in the confines of your own home or a safe place and you are drinking responsibly. This is not something that we're going to sit here and act like this is something that needs to be glamorized, like this dodo bird on Instagram or Twitter talking about y'all get on TikTok and brag about driving home drunk and singing home on the way to D appointments, but y'all use her tweet against her, blah, 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 blah. Yes, the fact that she herself had a warning. The police was her warning to sit down and cool it off and call a friend, because you already got warned that you potentially got a DUI. You got lucky that you did not get a DUI. So that should have been her warning to pull over, call somebody, and be like, girl, It's a lot going on. It's a pedestrian. They just left me. It's a pedestrian walking on the freeway. I just got pulled over. Let me calm my ass down before something happens worse, because I've already been warned. So it's just a mess. But I wanted to show y'all that real quick and just give my point of view on it, because even if you are a person who has been lucky to make it home by, drinking or whatever, this is not something that we need to be glamorizing or acting as if this is like what we're going to make the norm or whatever and excuse it. Like, if we have behaviors that result in loss of life or tragedy or anything like that, we have to be accountable for our actions, most definitely. And this girl right here, I'm sorry that her life had this trajectory. I'm not sure what she was going through mentally. And, it's sad that she might have been battling something mentally that made her feel like she needed to be that drunk like that, to that degree, to where she's drinking, driving, barely making it home and things like that. I don't know, but we can't make it the norm, though. We just cannot make it the norm.
Did you drink that night? Did you drink that night, man? Did you see this? How much did you had to drink? Had you been drinking that night? Did you see the troopers in front of you? Excuse us, back up, please. Yes, I'm sorry. Did you drink that night? Did you drink?
All right. So that's that. I just wanted to talk about this real quick. Even though it's been out for a week, I wanted to give my thoughts on it because, like I said, I get to stories when I get to them. I be having a lot going on. But, we can't make this be the norm. We have to talk to our youth, inform each other about the risk and the tragedies that can happen. Use this situation as an eye-opener, because there is a tragic end at the end of it. And again, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm a saint. I'm not going to sit here and act like I ain't never had a drink and got behind the wheel. I just want to just make sure I am very clear about that. I have not been perfect, but if I ever was in a situation to where I had done something to where it ended in a tragedy, I would have to be accountable, just like she has to be accountable for her actions. Everybody can't afford Uber and Lyft. I understand that. They, as well as the gas prices, are up a lot. So we got to take it back to back in the days when I was young. We had to have one person not be able to turn up, and we just switched off like that. Like, girl, you turned up last week. It's my birthday. I'm turning up. Okay, it's your birthday. I'm going to be sober. You just got to take one for the team, and you got to organize that type of situation with your friends. And if you can't organize something like that with your friends, then just don't be out drinking. Drink at home. I'm not saying you can't drink, but drink at a place where you ain't got to get up and leave and be behind nobody's will if you can't afford to get a rideshare app or have a designated driver. Okay. With that being said, that's all for this video, but I definitely wanted to talk about this story. And I'm going to be talking about more stories. Like, I'm not going to be able to get to every story right when they drop right away. Okay. My website, I'm pumping out stuff on my website. I am doing other things as well as being a mom as well. So, we're going to get this content when it comes. Some stuff I'm able to get through to right away, but everything I'm not going to be able to, and I'm not going to pressure myself to. Okay? But with that being said, I want to let you guys know, and I meant to tell y'all earlier that I do have a sale going on my website. Speaking of my website, this bucket hat that I have on right now is available on my website with a bunch of other different bucket hats. In my previous video, you guys seen I had the olive color bucket hat. This right here is the black color bucket hat that is on my website. These earrings, these chain link earrings, are also available on my website. I am moving in the direction of love, beauty, and accessories. So, love with the toys and whatnot. Beauty with which is gonna be, what entails with beauty. I get a lot of compliments on like my lip gloss and stuff like that. And I'm like, I might as well team up with some products and, do that. So, love, beauty, and accessories is definitely my gig that I'm going into. I'm trying to phase out of the pajamas. So if y'all could buy up the pajamas so I could kind of phase up out of those and move on into my other phase that I'm trying to go into, I would appreciate it. So use this code right here, True Out, and you can get 30% off of your total purchase. And that includes adult toys. Now, a lot of times when I do toys, a lot of times when I do coupons, I don't include the adult toys because it's very competitive with like the markup or whatever. But I'm giving y'all a Q coin off of the toys too. And I got a bunch of new items as well. Don't sleep. I have a lot of times I be like, yeah, girl, I added new items, but I added a lot of new items, okay, on the website. So definitely check it out. And those of you guys, it has been so many of you guys who have been shopping with me, and I appreciate that. But baby girl, and baby boy, because there been some guys that been shopping too. Baby girl, baby boy. I mean, I would like pictures to be able to post photos and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That would be appreciated, to my DM, to my email, whichever one is better. But yeah. Go to my website, www.neekatnight.com, and use the code TRUEOW. And on your way out of the video, make sure that you hit the like button if you didn't do that already, and hit the subscribe button if you didn't do that already.